Oh, what's going on, buddy? Nelly, what's going on? Every time I get on YouTube, I forget to hook up my microphone, so I'm going to have to hook that up right now. Birdman, what's going on? Denelli, welcome in. It's your first stream. Awesome. Big, beautiful Buddha. Oh, we're starting early. Jason, what's going on? Definitely not too early. Mud, what's going on, buddy? Hold on, I gotta hook up my microphone real quick. Let me set you down for a second. There we go. I think that should be better now. You gotta put the money signs. I like to read the bio. Let's see what the bio, what the big beautiful Buddha bio says. Looks like we got a pretty decent crowd already going out to CES and all the little conventions and such this morning. Mud, are you off today? I don't know if it's ever too dark, too early for after dark. You know what I mean? Nice. Mud's off today. What's your other day off now? Did they switch your switch all your days? Because I thought you had Tuesdays and Wednesdays off like I had. Oh, so you got a split week. You got Sundays and Wednesdays. I hate those type of schedules. It's like hard to get motivated when you have a split week like that. You like it? I mean, I guess if you got used to it. I mean, Sundays would be good during football season if you're a football fan. It gives you, I guess it gives you one weekend day and one weekday to get stuff done, right? I mean, I like my Tuesdays and Wednesdays off. I think they're like Monday and Tuesday or Tuesday and Wednesday were always my favorite days off. The weekends, I mean, especially living out here, there's no real advantage to having a Saturday and Sunday off because it's it's so much more busy out here on a Friday and Saturday. So I like coming out, walking the strip, going out to dinner, going to shows on a Tuesday or Wednesday, usually a little bit more or less crowded. What's a 4-3 schedule, Murakami? Is that 4 on, 3 off? Now, where I used to work in the One Oil refinery, they had what they called a every other weekend off. EOWEO is what they called it. And it was a split schedule where you worked days and nights, and it was kind of confusing at first. So if you worked Monday and Tuesday day work, you would be off Wednesday and Thursday. Then you would go in on Friday, Saturday, Sunday for night work. Then you would have Monday, Tuesday off. And then it would be Wednesday and Thursday for day work, whatever the opposite was. So you would just flip-flop back and forth from day work, but every other weekend you would have a 3-day weekend. It really wasn't that bad. I worked the regular day work schedule, but the guys that worked that, they really did like having those that kind of schedule. And then what a lot of guys would do is they would swap so that they would either work all night work or all day work. So it worked out for a lot of guys. Work 4 days, off 3, then 3, and then 4 off. That sounds really, I like that schedule, Murakami. So what are you working, like 12-hour days on that? There we go, we got Hard Rock over there. 12-hour days, I'd rather work a 12-hour day than a 10-hour day. I do not like a 4-10 schedule. It just does, to me, it makes me more tired. And so we got the guys out there on the swing scaffold doing some window work, I guess glazing, probably putting in some caulking around the. Am I a morning jogger? No, Stephs, I am not a morning jogger. I'm a non-jogger. I'm a walker. Speaking of walking, where do you guys want to walk to today? We will look at this nice crowd of people heading to CES. Now this falls back on something that we talk about a lot, right? Why does Vegas feel dead midweek, especially at night? Well, because most of these people that are going to these conventions are not late night gamblers and partiers, because they're here for work. So they're here, they do their convention stuff during the day. They go to private dinners, private functions when the conventions get over. And they're usually back up in their rooms, you know, usually probably I would say around 10 o'clock. So you see these bursts of crowds in the morning around this time. Must see Las Vegas, what's going on? Your sister was in here yesterday telling us about her little surgery, or not little surgery, her major surgery. You know what, maybe we'll have to take a little walk over there and see. I thought it said spring, but we'll look. We'll take a look over there at some point. So we have all these convention people, right? This week we have 140,000 convention people just at CES, right? It's a pretty decent number of people, but we're not going to see, it's not going to translate into nighttime people. Sneak into CES. You were trying to get me to do that yesterday. I should have grabbed a suit jacket. Well, if I owned a suit jacket and like a little card or something to hang around my neck, a little lanyard. Maybe if we just kind of blended in with the crowd. Oh, they're late. They don't want to have to go to HR and explain why they were late. They may, I don't think they have a HR rep like Jay.
Player payback rewards are instantly credited to your account and are available for immediate download. To earn player payback rewards,
so does that make sense what I was just telling you guys about the conventions and the numbers and how it translates into busier mornings, slower mid-mornings and afternoons, busy evenings around dinner time, and then slower nights. Well, if we're feeling, and that's up at the convention center, right? The main part of it. If we're feeling like walking up that way later, and we have time, maybe we'll head up that way, Murakami. All right, let's check out this side. So it looks like they got about half of the glass on up there right now. Central Hall. Yeah. Oh, it looks like they're about to lower some more glass in place. I do both, Stephs. I was on last night, mostly on TikTok last night. Mornings, I like to do mornings on my 2 days off. Gives me something to get out of the house and do. And then I walk a couple evenings during the week too. Plus, you know what? A lot of people don't see Vegas in the morning. So a lot of times people come on and they're like, wow, all the times I've been to Vegas, I've never been on the strip at 8 o'clock in the morning. I've been sleeping it off from the night before. So it gives people a different perspective. You can see them lowering that glass there. Pretty amazing how they install the glass from the inside of the building. They bring it out on that little crane up top. Oh, that's actually not that's a piece of the actual guitar bridge or whatever it's called. That's not glass, so that's going to get set down. We're going to lower that down into place. This is pretty interesting. I was wondering how they got those things there. We got a lot of people stopping and taking some pictures of this. It is a pretty long process when they do this. I'm surprised they move along so fast that so much gets done. Or maybe it just seems long because we're just kind of standing here right now. anticipation. So it looks like they'll put that in, then some glass, and then another one of them all the way up that center piece there. That looks like the process. Getting close. Plus, you know, when you do these morning walks, you get to see stuff like this. You see Vegas getting built. One piece of the Hard Rock at a time. Pretty neat. We actually, on our live stream, saw the first panel of glass go in on the Hard Rock building. That was pretty fun and exciting to watch. So we're gonna have to try to make sure we're here for the very last piece of glass also. So they're like what, they're about 4 stories above where they're installing that is where they lowered it down from. Well, it's a good breakfast spot if you're up early on the strip. La Salsa Cantina in Miracle Mile, or Bottled Blondes in Miracle Mile. They have a pretty good egg special in the morning. 2 eggs, some bacon, hash browns. It's a pretty basic breakfast, but it's cheap. It's usually, I think, $5.99, $6.99 on the weekdays and around $9.99 on the weekends. If you're down around New York has some good options in the deli there. They have some $10 breakfast specials, egg sandwiches, breakfast burritos, things like that. Oh, that would be pretty cool. That would probably be pretty hard to engineer though, Murakami. Imagine if they got that all the way down there in place and the guy was like, "You sent me down section D. I needed section C, you idiot." That would cause a big problem, I'm sure. They'd have to bring it all the way back up, reload everything. Somebody be getting laid off today. Go home at lunch, kid. All right, looks like they're about to make that connection. Drifted a little bit. All right, they're going to disconnect the rigging and probably go get another section. So they got a lot of glass removed from the Mirage building too. All that glass is going to match the glass on the guitar, and that's going to be amazing because I'll tell you what, I'm not a big fan of the the gold window panes. I never really was. I thought Mirage was a beautiful building. I just not a fan of the goldness. All right, let's walk some more. Get a little bit of coffee a little later in the stream. I've already had 2 cups. I'm trying to cut back a little bit. Got to think where I want to go for coffee this morning too. Guess it depends on the time. If you guys are enjoying this, make sure you hit that like button and smash that thumbs up there. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel, have your notifications on. We do live streams mostly Tuesday, Wednesday mornings. I'm usually on, and several times during the week at night. It's a little bit more random than a lot of people. I don't do it every night, and I don't come on at a set particular time. So I'm trying to, that was kind of my New Year's thing, is to get more of a schedule together for TikTok and stuff, and YouTube, and when I'm gonna go live, what days I'm gonna go live. So as soon as I do, you guys will notice, because I'll be on a more regular schedule. It's just hard though. I work full time, got 4 kids, 3 that live at home. Jay works full time. I mean, Jay works more than full time. And, you know, so we do the best we can with getting out here and bringing Vegas to you guys. And that's the easiest way to support the channel, is just to subscribe. Other ways to support the channel, Murakami put up a Buy Me a Coffee. You can go there, support the channel through Buy Me a Coffee. We have super chats, stickers, memberships, all available if you want to support the channel. If it's never necessary, it's always appreciated. And we do have, yes, we do have affiliate links too, right there in our link tree. We have a few affiliate links to Amazon and Aroma Retail, which is where you get all the great scents of all the resorts out here in Vegas. Not just Vegas, but resorts, all kinds of other scents to make your home smell beautiful. Ronan, what's going on, man? How you doing today? What's not easy? Just life in general? Because you're pretty right on that one, man. I remember, I can't wait till I grow up. I'm going to be an adult. I'm going to be able to do this, that, and the other thing. And then I realized that's all a lie. They feed that to us as a kid. You know, oh, yeah, no, when you become an adult, life gets a lot more tougher. Now I'm responsible for my kids and mortgage payments, car insurance. When I was a kid, I had to watch cartoons and, you know, be home on time for dinner. That was pretty easy. We'll take a walk down here later, the Link Promenade. Check that out. I love walking through the Link Promenade. A lot of great restaurants, bars, little stores to get some souvenirs from in there. So we'll go check that out later too. Where do you guys want to head around? Because there's not really a whole lot open in the Link Promenade right now. On my day walks, I usually try to stay out on the strip here, show you guys what's vibing out here, what kind what kind of crowds we got. So far this morning, we got a pretty heavy convention crowd. People heading to CES, the Consumer Electronics Show. But I'm open to suggestions on if there's anywhere you guys want to go check out. Oh, let's go check this out. It's the first time I saw. Is this open yet? I'm not sure if this is open yet. Oh, salt and straw. I wonder if this is expensive. This place looks expensive to me. They got pots of gold and rainbows, hand-sorted rainbow marshmallows. Cereal steeped ice cream. That sounds pretty good. Chocolate chili crisp peanut butter cups. That sounds a little bit interesting. I could take that Death by Chocolate. I think that's vegan, if that V means vegan. And they have some, oh, look at that. That's a Neon City Walker After Dark flavor right there. Coffee and love nuts. Oh, man. If that is mud on. Can't even really see in there. I try to go live as much as I can, Stephs. Sometimes you'll get 5-6 streams out of me days in a row, and sometimes you might get 2 in a week. It really depends. You heard what's really good? Coffee and love nuts? That's a flavor I'm definitely gonna have to go there and try. I don't even care how expensive it is. That could be like a $20 ice cream cone. I'm getting the coffee and love nuts and nobody's stopping me. Salt and straw in general. That's the first time I've heard of it was when I seen the sign a month or so ago. That was the first time I've ever heard of that place. So we'll give it a whirl. We'll give it a whirl one night. But I still want to do that duck donut challenge. That yard of milkshake and 4 donuts. I just need to save up the $100 to do it. Because I think I could really do it. I think I could definitely drink a 3-foot milkshake. I think it's like 100 ounces or something like that. What's the harsh status of Vegas at the moment? Well, the status that people don't want to hear is that Vegas is not dead. It's just slow. That's the harsh reality of it. And I think the numbers prove that if you look at the numbers objectively and not as a clickbait engine. I mean, the projected number for 2025, year-end number, is going to be around 39 million people. That's how many people visited Vegas last year. For 2024, it was 41 million, I think. So 2 million less people is not dead status. It's a slowdown. It's a turnaround. It's people pushing back on Vegas. Now, Vegas needs to respond. That's the harsh reality of it, right? Vegas kind of controls its destiny. They need to, they need to re-incentivize I don't think they lost their way. And I'm working on a video right now that explains all this in my terms, right? And I'm not going to explain it in a way that I'm trying to get views or anything like that. I'm explaining it in the way that the numbers kind of dictate that it gets explained. And, you know, an 80% occupancy is not a town that's like empty, right? So I think it was 79 point something. And it'll probably end around 79, 78% for the year of 2025. That's hardly dead. That's a little bit slower because I think it's only around 2% or so, 3% less than normal. But if you take 39 million people, if you take 2025 and you put that in the history of Vegas since, say, 1990, right? You'll see that 2025 is still in the top tier. It's in the top third of years as far as visitors go. So if you're using the metrics and you're comparing it to 2016 to 2019 pre-pandemic, those were the boom years, then yeah, it seems a lot more dead, right? Because we were hitting almost 43 million, I think. So it's a lot slower than it was in those years, but as of now, it's not. I mean, people that want to say that it's dead now, if 2026 ends up 6% down and we're at like 37 million, I'm going to say, you know what, we have a real problem here, right? Vegas is dying and all that, right? But that's not the reality of it right now. Although I'd probably get a lot more clicks and views if I was clutching my pearls and screaming that Vegas was dead instead of saying it's not and let me explain why, right? There's all different kinds of, there's a lot of legitimate, valid reasons why things feel the way they feel in Vegas right now. And, you know, higher prices. Well, we have higher prices across the board no matter where you go, no matter what city you're going to, everything has raised, right? I have yet to talk to somebody on a live stream or face-to-face that hasn't told me that their cost of living has gone up. So, cost of living also applies to like corporations and things, but they look at things a lot different than you and I, right? They measure things in quarters, you know, so if their numbers aren't, if their revenue isn't as great as they anticipated, they need to find a way to get those numbers up, right? That revenue up. And a lot of time that comes with making things more expensive for the consumer because the shareholder matters more than me and you. That's the harsh reality of life, right? A corporation has shareholders that they're responsible to keep happy, not customers. And the only thing we have our pushback by maybe not coming to Vegas as much. We have pushback by, you know, not going to all the fancy restaurants and looking for deals, you know. But other than not coming to Vegas, there's not much pushback that people have. And not coming to Vegas, that sends a signal to the corporations, the casinos that own them and that are owned by them. And we'll see how they respond. Do they respond with lower resort fees, better deals during the week? You know, those are all things that the casinos have to sit down and discuss in the boardrooms. I mean, like I said, it's pretty easy to explain when we're walking down the strip at, what time is it now? 9 o'clock, 9:15. And we just saw thousands of people on their way to CES, right? And now we're gonna go into another slow mid-morning where we're not gonna see as many people as we saw walking to CES. We're gonna see more leisure travel people, maybe coming out and getting breakfast. But it's not gonna be the same amount of numbers that we just saw earlier in the live stream. And at night, those people, they're out doing their corporate dinners and things like that, business dinners, and they're not walking the strip. They're not out here for leisure. They're out here for work. They bring as much leisure as they can get away with, right? So we don't see them out as late. We don't see them packing the shows as much. So we kind of have to wait for the weekend to see the bigger crowds of leisure people. Josh, good morning, man. Sorry, didn't see you there. How you doing? Because there's several different travelers that come to Vegas. It's not one type of traveler, you know? When you look at Disney, you're looking at mostly one type of traveler, families, right? Vegas, you have business travelers, leisure travelers, you have passer-throughs, you know? This lady is freaking out. She's running away from a pigeon. She must have had a bad experience with a pigeon one time. All right, let's go check out the status of Bellagio. We were in there last night on TikTok, and they got a pretty decent amount done. They are on time. They are running right on schedule, and it's looking pretty good in there. So, amazingly, I don't see anybody having any pushback with what I'm saying about the Vegas travelers and stuff like that, and my assessment of Vegas. So, am I right to assume that a lot of you agree with that assessment? So, see, all I hear is how the casinos are price gouging, triple roulette wheels, $30. Okay, so we could break that down a little bit, right? Price gouging. Yeah, it's way more expensive to buy stuff in a casino, right? Water, snacks, soda, things like that, right? So combat that, you go over to CVS, you go to Walgreens, you go to the ABC stores, right? Where you're gonna find stuff a lot cheaper. You know, it's always been more expensive to purchase packaged goods in a casino. Maybe not as expensive as it is now, but there you go, R. I was expecting that from somebody. I figured either you or Mud or Alan would have to throw that at me. Eli, what's going on, buddy? Yeah, there are $30 fast food burgers at Fat Burger at Excalibur has a $30 fast food burger, right? But here's the thing. Is anyone forcing you to go buy that? You see the price beforehand, you walk up and you go, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna go somewhere else and get something to eat, right? And what people don't understand is that all the restaurants, the majority of the restaurants, I don't want to say all because people like to, well, you said all, right? No, majority of the restaurants that are inside these casinos are not owned and operated by the casinos. They are owned and operated by private companies. Gordon Ramsay's corporation, Guy Fieri's corporation, you know, Alexa's, I'm sure, is not owned by Paris directly, right? They rent that space. So Paris has no control over what those restaurants charge. Yeah, well, you just missed us up there, Eli. Grammy, what's going on? Right, triple roulette wheel, right? People love new gambling schemes. You don't have to play triple roulette. As a matter of fact, don't even play double roulette. play the single zero roulette. Okay, if you're gonna play roulette, stay away from a 00 or a 000, right? It's that simple. Josh, you know, that is a great thing, right? There are great deals a mile off the strip in like Chinatown on Spring Mountain. Great restaurants owned by some great chefs who are paying a lot less rent so their food can be affordable. I mean, imagine how much the rent on Alexa's is. And I'm not picking on Alexa's, they have a great brunch, right? Or how expensive Cabo, the rent at Cabo is, right? You're probably talking $100,000 a month for a restaurant right on the strip like that. So yeah, the food prices are gonna have to be outrageously expensive. Tom, the locals casinos are busy. I was just through Santa Fe not too long ago, in the past 2 weeks or so, and it was packed in there. You're absolutely correct, man. And a lot of people, you know, like station casinos, right? There's a Palace Station right across the highway from the strip, maybe about a 25 hour ride over from the strip, right, on a ride share. Kind of takes away the deals that you would get, but you know, if you have a car, you drive over station casinos, get some late night dinner, early morning dinners, they have some great deals at station casinos. You know, see, there's a logical argument for everything that's going on, right? And there's a pretty easy way to combat that, right? You don't have to go, like, when you go to a restaurant and you don't see the price on the menu, if you don't see a price on the menu before you sit down, ask to see a menu that has prices, right? If those prices are out of your price range, go somewhere else, right? There's a lot of great options. Happy hours is a great thing. Splurge one time a day, right? At the Venetian, the Oak Room has a great lunch special, $13 for a burger, fries, and a soda. 13 bucks, right? That's a really good lunch special. I just told you earlier about $6.99 breakfast specials, $10 breakfast specials at New York, New York. Those things exist, you just have to look for them a little bit harder. You know what I mean? And if you go off strip, like Grammy's saying, the local casinos will really surprise you with how nice they are. Red Rock Casino and the Durango are probably two of the most beautiful casinos in Vegas. Some great restaurants.
Making that better, or pieces like
and a little bit cheaper, you know? Bingo, bowling. Oh, dude, I love bingo. And once a month on Saturdays at the station casinos, you can look it up because it changes which casino has it. They have that rock and roll bingo, you know what I mean, where it's more of a party. There's some great deals once you kind of get off the strip a little bit, you know? I mean, if you're gonna stay stuck on the strip, right, then consider yourself at Disney, right? If you're gonna stay on the strip and do all your meals and everything, then you kind of have to look at it like you're at Disney World, right? Where everything you do and everything you eat and everything you drink is purchased through Disney. And it's kind of the way it is if you're gonna stay on the strip and not look for deals. You know, go to happy hours, right? You can get some good deals at happy hours, smaller plates, right? You can get 4 plates, like at STK, for example, right? At Cosmo. They have that 777 happy hour, $7 apps, $7 drinks, right? You know, you can get like 4 different appetizers, small plate appetizers to try, and it costs you $28. Or you can go to like Gordon Ramsay Burger and get a $50 burger, you know? George, I wish you'd go to Disney. They'd probably hire you as Goofy. Everyone say good morning to George Flores. That's one of my best friends in the whole world. And I'm being serious when I say that. He's a good dude. Fremont is pretty much a Fremont's a party spot, man. You know what I mean? South Point's pretty good, yeah. Is George an Eagles fan? No, George is not an Eagles fan. I think George might be part of that gangbang the 49ers fan thing. Either that or a Cowboys fan. He reminds me of a Cowboys fan with how much he cries. They're not out here doing anything to the fountains this morning. Raiders fan. George, you're a Raiders fan? I'm surprised by that. This is the first time he's ever told me. Maybe he was embarrassed to be a Raiders fan. Eli, I'm trying to get you a good shot. I didn't forget about that. I'm going to zoom up here. There you go, Eli. Listen, Josh, as a Broncos fan, you don't have anything to worry about for a little while. Yeah, I know he's a Dodgers fan because he always breaks my stones about the Dodgers beating the Phillies and all that stuff. I think the Broncos are going to be a good team for the next couple years. All right, let's go inside now and check this out. You know what, Stephs, I'm going to have to look around and check out if there is some single zero on the strip. I haven't played roulette in such a long time. When I played roulette years ago, I kind of go through different stages, right? When I was younger, I loved roulette. Like when I was like in my early 20s up until like my mid 20s. And then I started getting into live poker. And I was into live poker up until like my 40s. And now I'm kind of just like, I've kind of been going back to the older school slot machines, you know, like the quarter slots with, you know, 3 lines, 75-cent max bet, something like that, you know. He's a Lakers fan and a Dodgers fan, and he's just, you know, I don't even think he likes the Lakers and the Dodgers. He just likes to be on the bandwagon. But I mean, I did for a while. I did kind of like double zero better than single zero because I like the setup of the wheel a little bit better, where the numbers were. You know, that's a good spot to check out. TI might have single zero. But yeah, there's a lot of problems out here for sure, you know, especially with food prices and things like that. Caesars needs to like kind of, the casinos need to go back to having their own restaurants. And then they could price control better, right? And then they could have that as a loss leader where we can offer cheap food again like they did years ago and when they were paying for the food. But instead, a corporate structure doesn't really allow that. So they kind of have to do that. Silver Sevens might have it also, you know what I mean? You know, I bet if we check a couple of them, Silver Sevens, Ellis Island, Plaza might have it. There might be 1 or 2 spots down on Fremont that have it. You know, that's going to be a mission for me. You guys sent me on a mission now to find some single zero roulette in Vegas. So if you guys were on TikTok last night, you saw they were making some good leeway here at Bellagio. They got the Golden Horse Mafia going. So 2026 is Year of the Horse, and that is the Lunar New Year theme this year. So I think it looks pretty impressive from the renderings we saw. But Steph, I'm not sure if you're still on here or not, but me and Jay, we did a little date night video at the Link Promenade for under 20 bucks. And I didn't add the tax to it, and it ended up being like 21 bucks or something like that, right? So me and her, we got coffee and some cookies and went and sat down at a nice spot over in the garden area at Flamingo. Had a nice little night. And it cost us like under 20 bucks, right? Another thing that we do a lot, because I love ice cream, I love desserts, is we'll go to CVS or Walgreens and we'll buy a pint of ice cream, find a nice spot to sit on the strip and people watch. You know, and that pint of ice cream costs like $4 or $5, not like $8 a scoop, you know what I mean? There's a lot of ways to kind of beat it, right? So you don't have to go, like we were just talking about that ice cream place, probably gonna be outrageously expensive. And you don't have to go and get all that stuff. There's plenty of ways to get around spending all the money in Vegas. You just have to do your research, a little bit of research, you know, ask questions on our live streams. I'll try to tell you and answer as many questions about saving money, because that's the way me and Jay always did Vegas. We always came out here with enough money to have a really good time, but wanted to go home with money. So we kind of kept the looking for the deals. Excuse me. And it was a lot easier to get deals in the late 90s, early 2000s. That's 100%. Oh, right, I say this every live stream, every time I go through here, there's a sign on this door at the Bellagio, automatic doors, do not push. So do not push. If you push, you will get stuck. It stops the doors. Let's see if anyone does it. Oh, somebody did it over on that one. Somebody touched the door. So we got a nice little crowd in here. We got the Chihuly glass ceiling. It's called the Coma de Floro. Is that it, Murakami? I always mispronounce that. That is from Dale Chihuly. He's an American artist out of Washington State. His apprentices designed that because he no longer can create art due to an injury. So when he gets a installation, he watches them do every piece of it. Oh, we got some of the figures here. So these are actual real flowers. Check that out. They got some green roses, red, yellow. Got another one here. That looks like it's waiting for the flowers. I wonder if they're gonna decorate it with the flowers on there now. The Fortune King. Isn't that a game? That looks like a character from one of the slot machines. VIP check-in over here. There we go. There's the horse of Fioro di Como. I was almost right the first time. There we have the gold horses. It's the Gold Horse Mafia. Jay was calling them the disco horses last night. When we get a little closer, you'll see why. Now, some of y'all were on here last night and we were talking about where is the garden table going to be, because there's two structures in here that could house the garden table. You guys know what the garden table is. That is that table that you can get for usually around 150 for brunch, $200 for dinner per person. There's two structures here. Oh, they got they got some pandas set up. So this is one of the structures that could possibly be the garden table. Yeah, they got a lot more done than they did last night, that's for sure. So here are the renderings. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. So we got, there's number one. I can zoom in on maybe a little bit closer for you. There you go. That's that is the centerpiece. That is what the centerpiece is going to look like. That is the piece that we were looking at when we first walked in. And that will be the other side. Now this will be up and running on the 10th of January. We can pretty much guarantee that. They are never late with getting this thing up and going.
And it's been sitting there.
So let's take a little walk through here. So there we are, the gold horses. They look like giant disco balls with the mirrors. Beautiful, aren't they? Let's zoom out a little bit for you guys. There we go. And this, what is brunch? It's a breakfast lunch combination. You can get like breakfast items or lunch type of items. Usually include some, it's a fancy way of saying I'm gonna drink alcohol with my breakfast, basically. Usually people get mimosas, Bloody Marys, things like that. So instead of being like, hey, I'm just a straight alcoholic and I'm gonna drink with breakfast, they said, you know what, let's call it brunch. It's like a breakfast lunch because it's acceptable to have some alcohol with lunch. I guess, I don't know. That's my own little theory I just came up with. If it sounds good, cool. If not, disagree. So it is going to look really nice. I can tell you that. I hope you guys are hitting that subscribe button if you're having fun on this little walk here. Support our channel with subscribing. Subscribing is free. You guys know that. Gives us a little support. I think we were at 925 subscribers this morning when I came on. I would really like to end the day with around a 940. I think 15 subscribers during this live stream is totally doable. Hit that like button. So these things always amaze me. It's so cool that we got to see what they look like on the inside. That'll be cool. Watching them, maybe we'll be able to catch them put the flowers on there. Oh, they did some of the that looks nice. This is the decorations in the lobby that they have up. It's just like a nice flower with the horses in it. I really like that. And there's other ways to support our channel, not just a subscription, but we do have memberships. We do have the super chats, the stickers, Buy Me a Coffee, which is another site that you can support us through. Helps keep our channel going. Monetary support is never necessary. Come on in, say hello, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate all the support that you guys give us while we're out here live streaming. I try to be as interactive as I can and answer all your questions. So if you have any questions about Vegas, ask them. I'll answer them to the best of my ability. Oh, somebody pushed the door. Oh, somebody pushed the door. Where's Mud? Where's Mud? Where's Mud when we need him? Mud and Alan would have enjoyed that.
What was it saying?
It was saying exactly what it says on the door, dude. Do not push the door. The guy's like, what was it saying? There's a big sign right in front of your face. It says automatic door, do not push. That's what it says when you pushes the door. Watch Jimmy crash out, right? Hey, I wasn't going through it, Grammy. When I go through it and people do that, sorry. When I'm walking through it and people push the door, that's when I crash out. Like that freaking smart girl that got in there with us the one day, and she asked if I was living. Are you living? And then she pushed the door. That's gonna be my hell. You know that, right? When I die and go to hell, I'm gonna be put in a revolving door that is automatic, but there's gonna be people. I'm gonna be trapped on the inside, and there's just gonna be people on the outside pushing it. Every time I think I can get out, they're gonna push it and stop that door. That'll be my own personal hell. Well, maybe we'd give you a pass on that one. We'll have to write Bellagio and ask him to put it down lower for the height impaired. Now, this is one of my favorite spots. I love this walkway. This is like a nice, peaceful walkway. It gets us out to the strip, especially at night when the sidewalk by the fountain is super crowded along the side of the fountain. This is a great way if you're heading to the strip and heading south to go. And it's really never that crowded. This is actually a great spot to film a Vegas is Dead video at night, because there's usually not a lot of people on here. So I think we've done that a few times in the live stream, where we've had the people coming in talking about how empty Vegas was. As we're standing at the fountains with thousands of people around us, people are like, oh, it's only because you're at the fountains. Well, yeah, that's a reason, because that's a destination for people on the Vegas Strip. That's where a crowd's gonna be, right? People are heading there, people are leaving there. So we walked up on here, and I said, look, there's nobody up here. This is a perfect, Vegas is dead. So when you watch those videos, always take them with a grain of salt. Try to figure out what time of day, what day of the week it was made. And I've seen some videos recently that were posted in like October, talking about they were in Vegas on a Friday night, and look how dead it was. And they're showing the Bellagio, the front of the Bellagio, and claiming it was the middle of October, and there was no grandstands up for F1. So it couldn't have possibly been a video that was taken in October. It was more like a video that was taken earlier in the year in the middle of the night. So, but it's, Miracle Mile Shops, that's a great spot to go to. There's a lot of pretty well-priced restaurants in there. You can find some good deals in there. There is a coupon code that you can scan that will give you a Miracle Mile coupon book, digital coupon book. And that'll give you discounts to different restaurants, different retail stores. So that's a great spot to go to and, you know, do some shopping if you need to. It's good restaurants, flights. Ketchup is a good burger price. They run a daily specials at Ketchup for burgers. Their food court is really good. Carnegie Pizza in there is pretty good. It's a little bit on the pricier side. It's about $8 or something for a slice of pizza. You know, and sodas are, you know, it's going to cost you like 12, 13 bucks for a slice of pizza, but it is good pizza. There's cheaper places to get pizza. And one of the best pizzas that I found on the strip recently is How You Doin' Pizza up here on the Boulevard Overlook, which me and Jay went and did on a live stream. Yeah, and there's a lot less, there's a lot less outdoor attractions for people out here, right? That's like keeping people from walking as much, you know, and going places. There's no incentive to go up and see the non-existent Treasure Island pirate show or the non-existent volcano no more. You know, if you go down the other end of the strip, the Dragon Show, all those things have been gone for a lot of years, right? And, well, the Dragon Show's been gone for a long time. Pirate Show 2013, I think it ended. And Volcano, a little bit over a year ago now. You know, so people aren't going to see those things because they don't exist. So we need some more outdoor attractions. I would love to have more outdoor attractions. Definitely. That would be something I would do to revamp Vegas. Give people a reason to come and stand outside your casino, and then they're gonna come in. You know, because I remember, especially Treasure Island, people would get there and it'd be so packed, they would just be like, I'm just gonna go in and wait for the next show. And then they go gamble in there. And they had no intention of gambling, they just wanted to see a pirate show. How far down do we want to walk today? Because I'm trying to figure that out, where I want to go. Where do you guys want to go?
But I think I'll play cards. Yeah, right.
I'll tell you what's really cool, I think too, and a lot of people don't do it, is walk down to Luxor or Mandalay Bay and walk around the outside of those properties. Luxor has the Egyptian theme outside, all the statues. That's pretty cool. And Mandalay still has the Enchanted Garden out front, but they took away the water features. That's why they shut the escalators down, so people get tired and spend money inside. That's a good conspiracy theory there, Murakami. People are like, I can't walk no more. I need to sit down at this machine. My kids don't need to go to college. Yeah, they were insane funky. I used to go 12 minutes to, see, I think I want to skip Hello Kitty today, and I want to walk back up to the Link Promenade and do Sweet Sin, because I have not had Sweet Sin yet this year. So I think I'm gonna skip the Hello Kitty. I got 2 Hello Kitty yesterday. So So I think that sounds like my plan. I think I could
Sometimes.
walk for a little while and not have to have the coffee right away. So back in '97, when I lived here the first time, I used to go up to Treasure Island basically every night and watch a pirate show or two. Jay worked on the strip, and she didn't get done until midnight, 1 a.m. So I'd come up the strip every night around like 8 o'clock or so and just wander around the strip and people watch. So I was doing this walking around the strip thing for a long time before there was even any thought of being able to live stream, right? Back then you would have had to have a big old camcorder that was like the size of a boombox. Like I'm dating myself now, right? And but I'd watch like 1 or 2 pirate shows and it would be so packed. And then I'd walk all the way from Treasure Island down to MGM Grand, where Jay worked at a place called GameWorks. It was where, which one did she say it was? Marshall's? I think it's Marshall's, TJ Maxx, one of them is right by the M&M store now, and that little strip of malls. That was originally, it was a really cool arcade called GameWorks. Super fun. So she would work there and then we would walk home. Usually we would walk up, back up towards like Flamingo and then back down Flamingo, up Paradise. We lived at Twain and Swenson. Funky, yeah, that's about basically, so it gets like early mornings when I normally get up, it's in the 40s. But by mid-morning, it's in the 50s. Late afternoon, you know, a lot of days is pushing the low 60s. So a light jacket, hoodie, unless you're like a really cold-blooded person and need a puffer jacket like Jay. But yeah, like Murakami says there, always check the weather before you come out because we could get like some kind of cold snap, you know, some freak cold streak or something like that. You know, don't do what I did when I went to San Fran over the past summer. I didn't check the forecast. I figured California, summertime, July, it's gonna be nice. Little did I know, like nice in San Francisco in July is like freaking 60 degrees for a high, cold and misty and rainy. Man, Jay had to go out and get me a sweatshirt because I don't even know if I brought a sweatshirt. So yeah, always check the forecast before you travel, man. Yeah, we used to do, so we lived at, they were called the Apple Apartments, right there at Twain and Swenson. Swenson has been renamed to like University Ave or something like that. And it's about a mile, maybe mile and a half off the strip, somewhere in that area. And we didn't have a car. We were young. We had just turned 21 a month after we moved out here. So, you know, we didn't have a car. We, you know, pretty much all the money we had saved up, we had dumped on the apartment and, you know, had some money to live for a few months in reserve. I remember we bought, we rented a 1.5 bedroom for, I think it was $550 a month. I wish I could find a spot to rent now for $550 a month. Although my oldest, they're thinking about upgrading at their apartment complex to they have a studio now, and they pay around $1,000 a month. I think if they upgrade to a 1-bedroom, it would be like $1,150 a month. And it's a great location. It's not too far from where me and Jay live. It's gated, swimming pool, laundry room, all that good stuff. So there is some nice spots out here that you can rent that are relatively affordable. I know, Tom, right? 550. But you know what? For 550, I think that was overpriced for the area it was in, man. That was a rough area. Still is a rough area. Twain and Swenson. I mean, we didn't really have too many problems when we lived there. But it was, you know, because we weren't out looking for problems. I think a lot of times people are like, oh, that's a bad area, you know, a lot of problems in that area. And it's like, well, if you're not looking for them, a lot of times the problems miss you. I'm not saying every time, but that wasn't always, we had some good, no, it wasn't a Siegel Suites, it was Apple Apartments. Now they're called the Tides on Twain. They have bars over the windows now and bars over the patios. When we lived there, they didn't have that stuff. It actually, when we went there during the day, it was a really nice area. There was a shopping center across the way, a 7-Eleven, a convenience store, a couple restaurants. Oh, right here at Perry's, all day deals. I don't know if you guys can see that. Slice and a beer for 10 bucks. Perry's pints for $5. There you go. That's a good deal. But yeah, for $5.50, I mean, it was a nice spot. But then at night, that's when it kind of got really rough around that area. Yeah. I think it was kind of known for some. That's a pretty nice area right there, Hacienda and Decatur. 719 is really not that bad of a price too, you know. I mean, I remember I looked for I looked at a studio efficiency type apartment in Philly back in like 2000, 2001. And this thing was tiny. It was like 450 square feet. And they wanted $1,200. It was in Center City. It was in a nice area, but man, $1,200. That was back in 2000, 2001. Now that same, if I went and tried to look at that place now in Philly, that would probably be a $3,000 a month rent. Rent prices in Philly are insane. Housing prices and all that stuff, man. Funky, hopefully the escalators are all working for you, man. I mean, usually where there's an escalator, there is an elevator. I mean, although the elevators, they kind of do stink. That's part of it, Tom. But see, what happened so where we lived in Fishtown in Philadelphia, it was years and years and years before we got a Starbucks in around there. A lot of artists moved into the area that we had originally bought our house in. In 2001, we bought our house. So after seeing the prices of rent, I decided that it was probably better to buy a house, more affordable. So we bought a house in this neighborhood in Philadelphia called Fishtown. People thought me and Jay were crazy for buying in the Fishtown. It was an older, kind of working class, kind of not so good area of Philly. An industrial area where a lot of the factories went down. There was a lot of drugs, a lot of crime, but when you looked at how Philadelphia was expanding from Center City, it was, the neighborhood right next door was called Northern Liberties, and that was pretty much starting to move that way towards Fishtown. So I said, let's take a chance, right? And it ended up working out for us really well. You know, that when we sold our house in 2020, that was what made it possible for us to come out here. But it took years for a Starbucks to get there, but there was a lot of like small coffee houses, a lot of small restaurants started opening up and gentrifying. That's how it started gentrifying there first. You know, I think the Starbucks is a more suburban way of gentrifying. When you're in the cities, you look more for where the artists are moving. And once the artists are in there, that's when everybody else, you know? And that's exactly, the speculators, man. There was people in 2009, I was getting legit offers almost daily. People, real estate agents knocking on our door in 2009 and offering us like 4 or 5 times what we bought the house for. And I was like, I love living here. I'm not selling, you know, and, you know, we stayed there for almost 20 years, man, and that we saw that neighborhood go from people saying, don't go there, that's not a spot you want to break down, to, oh my God, you live in Fishtown? How can you afford that? You know, because across the street from us, when we moved in, there was half of the street across from us was a vacant lot. When we moved, I think there was like something like 25 new houses built on our street. And each of those houses were going for around $550,000 to like $650,000. And yeah, so somebody bought that lot. I remember that lot was for sale when I first moved in for like $65,000. I was a carpenter's apprentice. I didn't have a ton of money. You know, I could pay my mortgage and we were living comfortably. But I was always like, man, if I had extra money and could afford that money, I'd buy that lot, man, for $65,000. And then somebody bought it, sat on it for years, sold it for like 110. And then, you know, about 2015, they started building houses there, and it was crazy. So it was insane, the amount of building that went on in Philadelphia during that time frame. And you know, same thing out here in Vegas. Everywhere you turn, I mean, there's places in this city that I may have not been to in 6 months. I drive there and there's a new strip mall and 2 new communities being built. So this town is booming when it comes to building and people moving here. There's a lot of other industries that are moving in, not just the hospitality industry and the Vegas Strip, you know. Some nice views. But yeah, I mean, I really love living out here. You know, I think in me and Jay had discussed this before on a live stream. You know, one of our regrets is moving back to Philadelphia in '98. You know, she should have finished school out here. I should have stayed working where I was working. I think that would have been a great first step. But you know what? I would have ended up in the food and beverage sector. And I'm kind of really not, I kind of grew away from that once I got into my apprenticeship and got into like construction and stuff. I was like, man, I love doing construction. So, yeah, and that area is right now, Tom, those areas are being built up too. You know, especially with like the Arts District and up around that way, off of Fremont. One of the apartment complexes out right at, I think it was like 8th, it was off of 8th Street or 8th Street out there. My kid was looking at. It was a really nice building, had security to get in and all. And that was, I think, only around $1,200 a month. And that was for maybe like 600 square foot little apartment for them. So a good starter apartment for someone who just moved out here. But they ended up liking the one closer to us better because it makes it easier for me to drive them places because they don't drive. So there you guys go. Murakami just posted a link for Aroma Retail. Me and Jay are affiliates for Aroma Retail. If you're not sure what Aroma Retail is, we do have some videos on Aroma Retail, but Aroma Retail has all the scents that are inside the resorts here in Vegas. They have all kinds of amazing scents, and we are affiliates. We have a promo code there, Neon City, for 20% off. So if you have a favorite scent and you're looking for it, want to give it as a gift, you know, that is a great link to push. If you guys make a purchase, we may get a commission. No extra cost to you, but yeah, we have several scent machines. I think we have 3. We have 2 portable ones and 1 for the whole house. And so our house always smells like one of these amazing resorts up here. I think right now our bedroom smells like Vidara and our downstairs smells like Aria. And you know, we could do like a whole strip theme rotation. Have one room smell like this, one room smell like the other one. So, and we will be doing their podcast. They have a podcast, so go check out their channel on YouTube, Aroma Retail. We will be on their podcast talking about the scents of Vegas, the smells of Vegas, and that'll be, I believe, the 14th. I'm not sure when the podcast will be broadcasted, but that's when we're going in to sit down with them. That's going to be fun. It's a great store. If you go to the actual physical store, let them know you're coming in because of Neon City Walkers also. But the people in there are so nice. We did a live stream from in there back in, I think it was November. You can check that out. I don't know about that, Tom. I don't even want to know. I can't even imagine what that smells like. I'm pretty sure that's not a very refreshing smell. I don't know. Caesars does have a nice scent too, but lately my favorite 2 have been Mandalay Bay and Vidara. They've been my favorite 2 resorts to walk into. I'll tell you another scent that is really nice, and I'm not sure if it's going to change, is the Cromwell. The Cromwell it's kind of a more masculine-y scent. I think it has like some whiskey scents to it, and it's more like earthy. And I wonder if when Vanderpump takes over the Cromwell, which I'm not sure when that's happening. I'm not even sure that's still happening because I haven't seen anything about that in a while. But I wonder if the scent is going to change. Bellagio has a great scent too, but the Bellagio scent, when it, you know, it's not as noticeable when you're in the lobby area or around the conservatory. You kind of got to get back in the convention center of the casino floor. But that's a pretty good scent too. I mean, I don't really think that there's a bad smelling hotel in Vegas. Well, maybe sometimes Treasure Island has that 3-week-old pine sol smell, but that's a great little way to get yourself a treat and help support our channel too, is checking out our links. You know how we ended up walking all the way down here today. I didn't think this was really on my agenda. Sometimes I don't pay attention though, and I just walk. welcome in, chatters. You guys sitting and watching, we call our audience the chatters. So let's get chatting. Let's get some conversations going. If you guys got some questions, you know, ask away. If you can answer a question in the chat, we always appreciate the help. We like to see other people's opinions on things. A few things I don't really ever talk about is, well, Vegas-wise, is buffets, because I'm not a buffet person. Sushi, I think sushi's absolutely horrible. I don't know how anyone can eat it. But I know that's polarizing sometimes. People are like, what, you don't like sushi? I'm going to give you a thumbs down. But we definitely do not talk politics. When politics intersects with things that are happening in Vegas, we touch on them lightly and factually. We don't interject really political opinion here, okay? If you don't like a politician, I don't really care. But if you know, are talking about it framed in a way that ex-politician introduced this bill and it's gonna affect Vegas this way, that's okay, you know? Oh, you got a Game King slot machine for your house. Nice. I have like an old school, like novelty slot machine sitting in our storage center. I just don't have anywhere to put it in our house. But it would be kind of cool if I had a spot to put it. Coming up on Mud's favorite spot, the Luxor. Funky, it does have a new tiki bar. It just opened recently. Maybe we'll be able to take a walk through there and check it out. Yeah, so the best steakhouse, the best hotel to stay at, things like that. I like to turn those type of questions over to the chat, right? Because my opinion on a lot of those things, well, one, steakhouses are tough because I'm the only person in my family that eats meat. Everybody else is a vegetarian, so we don't hit steakhouses a whole lot. And I'm not a big fan of a big chunk of steak. I like cheesesteaks, I like cheeseburgers, I like brisket, I like roast beef, you know, but I don't like a big prime rib. What's the weather January 30th? Grammy, come on back on the 30th and I will give you an up-to-date live weather report. So a lot of those subjective things, right? Like what is there to do, right? And I think that's a great opportunity for the chat to get involved and say, last time I was in Vegas, I did this and it was a lot of fun. And then, you know, I got to pull over here and take my jacket off. I am like starting to sweat. Whew. That's pretty cool, Funky, that Game King one. See, I would sit there and just constantly work on strategy for video poker. You must have a pretty good strategy for video poker, being able to just play it whenever you want and not worry about the money. There it is. We're just, Mud's, I hope you're okay looking at it, Mud. What's your favorite video poker funky. I like bonus. And, you know, just the regular jacks are better. I think jacks are better probably is like one of the easier strategies to learn. I don't think they got the permits for it yet, Murakami. Had it for a year. Well, what do they say? I think it's like something like 40,000 hands, once in every 40,000 hands or something like that. It's supposed to be a royal flush. That's the statistics. Doesn't mean you can hit them back to back. Doesn't mean it has to be 40,000. Now, is there a way to maybe loosen it up? Maybe make the win percentage a little higher on a game like that? For the payout rate, I mean, because, you know, the casinos, they can control the payout rates, you know, and that's all covered by law, what the minimum amount they have to pay out is. But they can have machines that pay out 99%, you know. We are heading up on the Luxor. Now, the Luxor is a great spot to walk around. It's a cool spot to check out at night, man, because it is lit up really nice. These statues have some nice... oh, wow, it's the Chevy Pharaoh. You can't change the rate, okay. That would be pretty cool if you could. Could run a little video poker scam on your friends. Set it down for a real low payout rate. Hey, come on over, man. Whatever you put in is yours. Oh, busted again, huh? That wouldn't be cool, but I used to go to a bar that had a video poker machine like that in Philly, and it had this double up, right? So after you won, you could double up. Well, I'm pretty good with patterns, and I noticed that there was a pattern on the double up. So I used to double up everything, and they would get so mad, but they never changed the pattern. So I could go in there, put like $50 in this video poker machine, and cash out with like $250 just by doubling up after a couple minutes. I was totally not, you know, gambling. It was a totally not legal setup in that bar. That's no longer there. That shut down, I guess, right around COVID and never opened back up. But that was running on its last leg. It was a freaking little, if you guys have ever seen Rocky IV, you know, where he fights Tommy Gunn underneath the L, it was like one of them type of bars, underneath the L. I want to put a vending machine in my house so my kids have to play for snacks and drinks. Like, my kids will order like we'll bring home like a case of soda or something like that, and then, or like they'll go to the dollar store and grab a couple sodas and put them in the fridge. I'll get home and I'll be like, oh, cool, cherry Pepsi. And I'll grab one. They're like, who drank my soda? I'm like, who drank my freaking milk? You've been drinking my shit for the past 20 years, kid. But this is, again, an area of the Strip that historically has always been very slow because there's really nothing down here, right? No stores to go in. All the stores are inside the casinos. All the stores are inside. Alan, listen, man. Good parental status is a mindset of the parent, because your kids, you suck as a parent. It's always, you never let me do this, you never, whatever, So you just got to think of yourself as a good parent, and you're a good parent, because the kids will always have a problem with the way we parent. There goes the tram that runs between Mandalay Bay and Excalibur. There's a express tram that skips the Luxor and a local tram that stops at the Luxor. So one takes about 3 minutes and one takes about 1.5 minutes to get from Luxor to Mandalay. So, and I think that runs until around midnight. Usually, depending on what type of conventions are in town, is what time the tram starts to run. There we go. Yeah, tell her, man, you're gonna start paying rent. My kid, oh yeah. If I told that to my kids, they'd be like, yeah, mom said no. Yes, nothing in life is for free. Here's what I love, right? I'm gonna do that another day. So for the monorail, for locals, I can go buy, you show your license and it costs you $1 a ride. I gotta stop and go buy some passes. But I'm gonna walk back up because I wanna go to the, I just kinda like walking. I wanna get my steps in. I only got about 28,000 last night, I think we ended at for the day. But the MGM monorail, that's a great option too, right? That runs up the back behind the properties. And a lot of people, I mean, it's kind of a walk when you're in MGM to get to the monorail. It's not that bad up at the other properties. The last property to get off at Harrah's, for the Strip. Everything else then is the convention center and Westgate and Sahara. I mean, I guess technically if you get off at Sahara, you're getting off at the Strip. So out here, what we're looking at across the way, that entrance, that little grand entrance there for Mandalay, that is the Enchanted Garden. That's pretty nice.
Wait.
That used to have a lot of water features in there, and those water features have all been turned off. MGM has basically turned off all the water features except that small fountain outside of Aria, the memorial outside of New York, and the Bellagio fountains. Other than that, pretty much all of their water features inside and outside have been turned off. Now, I think Aria has the inside water wall, but not the outside water wall. So they turned that off during the pandemic, and they said something broke and it was really expensive to fix, which I think is corporate speak for we're just not turning it on and we're going to blame an expensive pump. But MGM did enter into some kind of water conservation pact. So that is the cover that they use to why everything is turned off now. But they definitely need to do something with the lion outside of MGM Grand, because that looks like trash. The fountain area is all torn up. They really need to do like a remodel out there, and it probably wouldn't cost that much money. The area bidet was still working. Water. See, no, that just doesn't work for me, Alan. It's water. Water ice. It's the way we do it, man. I know. Mark, what's going on, buddy? So yeah, this is the Enchanted Garden outside of Mandalay. And this water used to overflow off that cauldron there. You can see the iron stains and the water stains in there. And now it's all like a desert scape in there. I mean, it works, but as a tropical paradise that Mandalay is themed after, you think they'd have some more water. I mean, they do have great pools and all in here. Oh, there's some water. There's a puddle of water. They have the toptional pool here too, which is the top optional pool. But this does have some beautiful sights in this little Enchanted Garden. And the strip traffic noise is kind of, oh, how nice. Let's go check the scenery over here. Now, last time we were here the other night, I heard a cat out here meowing, and I was looking for it, couldn't find it. There's a stray cat that lives in here. Anyone ever walked through here? This used to be the way that you walked in. Well, I guess it is the way you walk in if you walked to Mandalay. I remember right after it opened in '99, we were out here and we were like, man, what a cool way to walk in. And, you know, it was brand new, beautiful. It is such a pretty view down here. And I'm going to tell you, Mud, it has an awesome view of the Luxor. I'm going to be posting a video real soon. And I think you're going to love the view that you get for the Luxor from this spot in Mandalay. Now you just walk through here. This is the valet pickup area, shuttle and tour buses down here. So we'll walk through, check it out, take the indoor pathway. Where do you guys want to take the tram back? Yeah, the Luxor does look a little bit cleaner after all the rain, Murakami. I'll tell you what, why don't we take the Mandalay, Shops at Mandalay walkway over to Luxor and check out inside of Luxor for a little bit. But yeah, all that rain kind of did wash the desert dirt off the pyramid. Here's one of the little recharge stations for Rosie. That's where Rosie fuels up before they chase you around the casino floor. Oh, they got a charging station here too. You can rent a charger if you're really in some dire needs here. Has one of those charge fuses. $40 for 24 hours. And if you don't return it in 24 hours, they charge you another $20, $60 for the charger. Whew. But I have used them in other cities and they were cheaper than that. I think it was $20 for the day. All right, so why do I feel that in Vegas things are backwards, right? Real quick, right? So we're looking at the grand stairwells here, right? And the up escalator is on the left-hand side. I feel like the up escalator should be on the right-hand side instead of the left-hand side. It always confuses me. Venetian does that too with the walkways. It's like you're on European walkways when you're at the Venetian. So right over here at the top of the escalator here, you'll see some elevators, and that is the elevators to get up to the foundation room. These elevators right here. So that is actually that's a really great view too, the foundation room. If you've never gone to the foundation room, they have a great happy hour special too. Well, they did. You don't need reservations. I'm sure the happy hours have changed a little bit, but me and Jay went up there one night and it was beautiful watching the lights pop on the strip. Yeah, it was really, really nice. We have not gone up to the Sky Bar. I think it is still closed for the renovations right now, Murakami. I want to check out the Sky Bar over at W. Man, that video got a nice response over on TikTok, huh? People get mad when you say something's new, right? They're like, it's not new. Well, yeah, technically the building's not new. It's been rebranded. It's been rebranded for a while, but it's a new rebrand. People get so upset about some things. It's funny. So if we come back here around dinner time, this casino will be packed. The casino area will be packed because this is another one that is a major, major convention casino. It has a huge amount of people that come for conventions, especially because they hold so many conventions at Mandalay. So this is normally really busy midweek, dinner time and beyond, because people are like, I'm just gonna go back and hang in Mandalay because that's where I'm staying. They got good restaurants. They got a lot of good restaurants and bars in here. Some live music. I mean, this is like self-contained Mandalay. It is one of the better self-contained casinos. MGM is really self-contained too. You really don't have to leave MGM Grand for anything. But Caesars is another one that's so huge. Oh, that one. You like that one? 316 more days. Is everyone aware of that? Anyone know what happens in 316 days from today? I mean, everyone's going to be super excited once I tell you this. But let me tell you about this place, Citizens, right? Kitchen and Bar. Oh, the ad just went off. So Citizens Kitchen and Bar, they have $5 50-cent drip coffee, and it's really good. I had it the other night. It's right over on the other side of the casino floor, Citizens. Really good coffee, really good value. So 316 more days is November 19th. Does anyone know the importance of November 19th? I'll wait a second. Don't everyone answer at once. I know Murakami knows. You commented on the video. It's everyone's favorite day of the year in Las Vegas. November 19th, 2026 in Las Vegas is the first day of F1. So that is the day of the time trials, the testing. So 316 days until we hear the roar of the F1 cars on the Las Vegas Strip again. I didn't sit down at Citizens. I just walked right up to the bar area and got or the coffee bar area. Yeah, F1's back. Glitter and coffee, boo, right? Oh, we got Hello Kitty. Rah, that's a good bar too. They have a good happy hours in there. Tuesday through Sunday, 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. Or that's live music. The happy hour, I think, is 3 to 6 p.m. So that's a pretty nice amount of time for a happy hour.
Mira, para la bebé.
I know, I think, well, this advertisement's wrong. Bob Marley Hope Road now open. January 5th was the last night, so it's closed. Now, someone commented that with a post that they made that they're just gonna do some revamping and rebranding and all that stuff for the Bob Marley show. We'll see if it comes back. Oh yeah, is that when it is? January 30th? I knew it was going to open again in January. I meant to look because it is pretty fun. If you are not aware of F1 Grand Prix Plaza, that is where F1 makes their headquarters. And during F1 season, they move everything in there. And they have F1 simulators, they have an F1 experience. It's really cool. I'm not a huge F1 fan. I know nothing about auto racing or anything like that. And but I've taken my kid there because they do a lot of specials there, especially for locals. But also for tourists, the F1 Grand Prix Plaza will have like, I think it was last August. Like you just had to sign up and for the newsletter, and you got a free ticket for the F1 simulator. So, Joe, what's going on? Good morning, buddy. Going pretty well, going pretty well. I think we may have to switch over and put a charger on pretty soon. Tell you, YouTube drains less battery than TikTok by far. All right, so right now we are about to step foot in the Luxor, Mud's favorite place. Oh, afternoon. Well, good afternoon to you, Joe. We are, what time is it here? Let me look. We are pushing 10:40 right now, Vegas time. Play with me. That should be a Neon City Walker After Dark t-shirt. Play with me. Play. Now, I have not gone to play. We have not gone to play, but we do have some friends that have gone. They said it was really fun. I think you can bring kids there now during the daytime hours. For a while there. So you have, here, let's go over here and look at the sign. So 21 after 7 p.m., 13 and over until 7 p.m. So that's good to know if you're out here with some teenagers and stuff and looking for something to do. Where did I start this morning, guys? I forget even where I started this morning. Oh, we started up by Venetian this morning. There's some, and on cue, we got the big, beautiful Buddha. Belly rubs after dark. Oh, no problem, no problem. We'll be on for a little bit longer. I'm gonna try to stay on at least until around 11:30 when I get back up the north end of the strip. So this is the atrium area. Fantasy. The strip's sexiest tease, right? That's a pretty, the strip's biggest tease, right? That's a pretty good show for adults only. Carrot Top is absolutely hilarious. I love Carrot Top. We've seen them quite a few times. Christopher, well, welcome in. Yeah, we've been on for quite a while this morning. I don't know why the notifications, I don't understand. I don't get a lot of notifications. I went and looked through my settings, right? So I'm supposed to get notifications when people comment on our videos, things like that, and I never get notifications from YouTube. I don't know how it is for everybody else. A lot of people that I subscribe to, I don't get notifications when they go live either. So it's, the notification thing for people is very, very, my belly is large, but I do charge. No. That's funny. So here we are in the Luxor. This is the world's largest atrium. It is, what is it, 29 million cubic square feet. It would take over 1 billion golf balls to fill this up with golf balls. And it would take, I think 10 years to make all them golf balls. We had a fun feed one time and we kind of figured all that out. I'm gonna have to find that. Maybe post them over as a short series. So, King Tut's tomb, I've never done King Tut's tomb. I do want to check it out though. Back here is the food court. It's a 24-hour food court. Chicken tenders, hot dogs, Johnny Rockets, pizza, LA subs and salads, you know, basic food court. probably a little bit overpriced. You know what, let's go check out the prices. It is interesting, King Tut's, yeah, I really definitely want to check it out. Let's see how much a slice of pizza is. We got LA subs, let's walk by and see. Caesar salad is 18 bucks, that's a little bit outrageous. Chicken parm wrap, 20 bucks. Kind of a little bit outrageous if you ask me. I don't think, this is what I mean, it makes it kind of unaffordable to even just come down here and get a snack if you have like some kids with you or something. $10 slice of pizza, Johnny Rockets, hello. Egg and cheese muffin for 12 bucks. You can walk across the street to McDonald's. There's a McDonald's right across the street from the Luxor. You can order it on the app. The Luxor is still very popular. A lot of people like the Luxor for nostalgia reasons. I'm one of those people. People that stay here definitely say get a tower room, not a pyramid room. The pyramid rooms are really dated, you know, kind of run down, a lot of people say. I like the pyramid rooms, again, for nostalgia. The backstage deli at Luxor actually does have pretty good sandwiches. That's located downstairs back by the sports book. But again, like we were talking about earlier, with these food courts and like, you know, the casino needs to get back into the food and beverage business so they can price control these things, right? Because they're getting a lot of friction and pushback because of outside operators on their property. And, you know, if they had their own restaurants and got into, you know, loss leaders again, like, you know, do you think they made any money on a 99-cent shrimp cocktail or a $5.95 prime rib dinner? No, they didn't make any money. The whole idea was to get you on the property, get you sitting down to dinner, and then going, I'm going to go play some games. You know, I'm going to go game and gamble a little bit. You know, so they need to get back into that. They need to get back to that. You know, bodies, the exhibition, that is pretty cool. That's where they plasticize real human bodies. It's like they kind of skin them and, you know, dip them in plastic. Yeah, Mark, that is, it is a little bit crazy the way the hallways are. You can see the hallways. They're the hallways that you walk down to get your rooms. Each one of those lights is a set of rooms. And it is a little bit weird, especially when you get up onto the upper floors and you're looking straight down into the atrium. It is a little bit creepy. But it is, I mean, I don't know, the ambiance in here, I love it. I love the lighting up here. I mean, I remember my first time coming into Vegas and coming to the Luxor, and it was like, man, I love that place. I came in here, it just, I don't know, it was like magical for me, you know? It's like this place, like Diablo's, it's pretty decent, but it would be so much better if Luxor had their own restaurant right there. Something that, you know, was drawing people in here. Oh, let's go to Diablo's at the Luxor. They got the great, you know, $5.99, all you can eat nachos, right? People would come. People would sit down. People would get up, go down the escalator here and into the casino area and gamble. You know, that's the way Vegas used to run. But now you have all these restaurants that are causing unnecessary friction for the casinos because they charge so much for the food. Exactly, right? So, and a lot of people say that's Vegas losing its way, but it's actually different incentives than they used to have, you know? Vegas now is all about getting as much money out of you per visit as they can, where before it was all about building loyalty for you to come back. So there's a huge difference between that. I think they still have the Pyramid Cafe, but you know, along with, so it seems like the casinos have gone the way of the restaurants and go, oh yeah, well, we own the Pyramid Cafe, but we're going to still make it expensive, right? The Pyramid Cafe is just a little coffee house in here, you know, and it definitely should be super cheap breakfast, super cheap lunch. You know, I mean, that's, you don't want the people to leave. You don't want people to leave the property to go somewhere else to have lunch, because they may end up liking that property more and not coming back to this property, you know, for the next day. Yeah, you're right on that, Christopher. But as we were walking down here, we walked past Perry's Pizza, which is right by Aria, right where the Whataburger is. And they had pizza and a beer. I think it was $10. Am I right on that? Pizza, a slice of pizza and a beer for $10, and a pint of beer for $5. So, like I said, there's a lot of deals out here that can be found. You just kind of have to look for them, because a lot of times the signs are a little bit off on the corner, because they're hoping that you don't see the sign and you come in and you know, get something that's not on special. Now these are, I think, the last two moving walkways that connect Luxor over to Excalibur. So we're gonna go down this walkway, save a couple steps. This is the convention area down here. Not a huge convention hotel, but they do have convention area. All right, let's get hitting that like button there, guys. If you're enjoying this stream, this walk, join in the chat, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying this, so you can join us on our next one. Make sure you have your notifications on, even though they are, I guess, coming a little bit late. But yeah, definitely, that's one way to support our channel, is to subscribe to our channel. We do have the super chats, we do have stickers, we have memberships. If that's the way you like to support too, that's never necessary. We just ask that you guys come on here and show us some love. Join in. Awesome. Thank you, Christopher. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. All right, gonna have to pull the mic, put you guys on the charger for a little bit. There we go. $9:32. Awesome. What did I say I wanted to try to get to today? Was it 9:40? We need about 8 more people to subscribe, and we could hit our 9:40 goal for today. 9:50 would be great, but you know, 9:40 would be nice too. Awesome. Thank you, Joe. Yeah, the people movers have been out of here for a couple months now, Mud. I'm really hoping that they leave the ones going from Luxor, to and from Luxor in, because that's quite an incline you got to walk up there. Yeah, I think 940 on the subscribers is totally doable. 8 of you in here that haven't subscribed yet must be enjoying this enough to go hit that subscribe button. All right, so now we are in the castle. Excalibur. It's the first hotel that Jay stayed at when she came here back in like 91 or something like that. And that is what really brought her to love Vegas. Well, the whatchamacallit, Volcano show was what really got her like to fall in love with Vegas. But she'll tell the story one time when they got off the plane and she's seen the slot machines and heard the slot machines, and back then that's when they had the coin drops, and you know, she was like, oh my god, this is amazing. She was a teenage girl, like it was like probably about 15 or so, coming out to visit her aunt and uncle who were professional must see Las Vegas. Thank you. You know what? I don't see when somebody does the memberships. Thank you for pointing that out, Murakami. So we got some Krispy Kremes up here. This food court, a lot of people really like this food court. I think it has some pretty good options, but it's got some really expensive options too. Now, one item combo at the pickup sticks here is $13.99. How is one item a combo? Is it because it has rice? I don't know. Yeah, I see, like if somebody gives like a super chat or a sticker, I'll see that, but I don't see the members. So thank you so much. I think Oliver Closeoff, he joined as a member, and I gotta send him a thank you because I missed that on the live too. So I was talking about this earlier, Fat Burger. Somebody brought it up, the $30 burgers. And this is where you find the $30 burgers in the food court. They don't have it right now, but it's an egg and cheese for $16. That is absolutely ridiculous. Again, the Pizza Hut right here, this isn't too bad. How much is a personal pizza here? Oh, maybe it is $15 for a 9-inch pizza. Go to How You Doing. It's like $18 for like a 12-inch pizza. Hot dog on a stick. I remember the first time I saw that, I was like, what is a hot dog on a stick? I had no idea. And, you know, I was like 20. And it was at the Boulevard Mall down on Maryland out here. And I remember seeing the people in their goofy uniforms. It was like a blue and yellow and red striped shirt. And I was like, what is this place? I mean, if you're gonna do a hot dog, man, you need a boiled hot dog from a cart like they do in New York City. Yeah, this is one of the problems that I have with the food courts in the casinos here, right? This is Excalibur, right? So you can go all in at Excalibur for like $50 a night, you know, $60 a night. After Dark, hosted by yours truly, Sweet Jimmy, but and Big Buddha. But no, that people mover, they were doing some maintenance on that one, Mud, a couple weeks ago. So I'm hoping they're not taking that one out too. That would be crazy. All right, all the way back up the strip now. Let's see. This is going to be quite a loop that we did today. Let's see. We started actually on the outside of Wynn and came all the way down to Mandalay. Yeah, big beautiful Buddha. We were talking about what did that person think was being served up at Dick's Last Resort if it wasn't rude comments. Did they go there expecting something else and they just got upset because they weren't getting slapped? I'm going to stop that right there. Yeah, they were a little bit mild when we went. But you know what, Mud? I think that's the problem, is that people go there and they have had to tone it down a bit because people got their feelings hurt that they said mean things to me at a restaurant that insults you. Alan, that's what you said about the last time you went too, right? You said it was a little bit mild. Still haven't put in the mini golf course here, but I think we're going to have to do another video on that. We're going to have to get MGM on the ball here. We need some new outdoor attractions on the strip, and this is the perfect location for a small mini putt-putt, mini golf course right here on the corner of Tropicana, Las Vegas Boulevard, underneath the Statue of Liberty. They should have a definite little New York themed mini putt-putt golf course here. That would be awesome. Or put the water back in, because the Statue of Liberty is like on an island, not in the middle of a field. MGM's doing it all wrong right there. Yeah, some of the comments on the hat are pretty funny. It was so much better with the water. It angers me when I walk past and don't see the water. And what really angers me is when I walk over by the lion over there, which is, MGM's, trademarked there, and see the condition of the fountains and stuff around there. Joanna, what's going on? Good morning, good morning. Yeah, the shareholders, they disapprove of a lot of things and push a lot of things that the customers disapprove of. And I don't know if you were on earlier, and I was saying, back in the day when the casinos had all the restaurants, and that's when the cheap food and all that stuff was here, but some corporate bean counter decided that they could make more money. A new revenue stream would be renting out the restaurants. So now the casinos have no price control over the restaurants inside the casino, and that unnecessarily causes friction between the customer and that casino. They need to start taking some of them spaces back and giving us the low loss leader type food again. The 99-cent shrimp cocktails, the $7.99 prime rib, surf and turf. I know it's not going to be that cheap, but like a $2.99, $1.99 shrimp cocktail, or like a $9.99 prime rib dinner, that would make all the difference in the world. Exactly, Christopher. And then they get into these crazy real estate deals where VC owns the property but doesn't do anything to maintain it, and it all falls on the lease back that MGM or Caesars did. So it's just crazy. I know, and I think that's one of the reasons that like our channels are really nice and coexist so well, is because we're always looking for deals for the people that are watching us. It's I'll walk the strip and point out the deals and make videos about them, because I want Vegas to thrive. I want people to come here and have a good experience, right? Because if it's your first time here and you're hit with all these hidden fees and outrageously priced dinners and things like that, you're probably not coming back. So if you stumble upon my channel and start watching some of my videos or Must See Las Vegas's videos about where to get deals and find deals, then that's going to make your trip that much better. You're going to be able to navigate Las Vegas a lot easier, just have a more fun time. Sounds like every rose has its thorn. Maybe, I don't know. No. Sounded like it for a second. Maybe it's just tuning. Sounded pretty good though. Fun things to do all over town, right? Over there, New York, across from New York, over at the Coca-Cola store, they have that Coca-Cola World Tour. And it's all beverages made by Coca-Cola from around the world. Some of them are really good, and some of them taste like sewage water. So I highly recommend you taking it, going over and doing that tour, and deciding for yourself, how can people drink this every single day? Oh, you know what? Maybe that's what it was. Now that you just put that on the screen, that just popped into my head there, Joe. you could probably get a good business going out here, Mud, like a small little tour guide business, man. Tiffany, what's going on? Got a good one going today. 2 hours, 31 minutes so far we've been live. Let's see how many steps we have taken as soon as we get across the street. Well, we started up around the Venetian Lynn property this morning and walked all the way down to Mandalay for 11,922 steps this morning so far. Joanna, you're like, several people have said that this morning about the notifications. I did post a little video on TikTok right before I went live saying come see me over on YouTube, but I'm sure TikTok probably suppressed that. Me and Jay are trying to figure out if we want to come out tonight. Again, I have a kind of busy day. As soon as I get off the live with you guys, my son has a whatchamacallit, dentist appointment today. Got 10K more steps than you right now. Whew. You're here in spirit, man. Yeah, I was saying earlier though, my notifications for a lot of channels I subscribe to, and a lot of the things that happen on my page, I don't get them in a timely manner. I'll be like, it'll be like 2 days from now and I haven't been on, and it'll be like, you got 15 subscribers during your live, and it's like, wow, thanks for telling me 3 days later. I couldn't do the math myself. Yeah, we were a little confused yesterday why you weren't on, Mud. We were like, oh man, hope everything's good with Mud. Then it just turns to find out that, you know, it's your job messing with you. Them damn jobs. Oh, there's a new drag brunch show at the Hard Rock Cafe. Maybe me and Jay will go check that out. They're always fun. Got some Rage playing over here for the outside of Brewdog. I tell you, I think places out here now are starting to put this loud music to mess with the live streamers, you know? And I don't understand why they would do that, you know? But they make it so loud with all this music. I'm with you with that there, Mud. I don't know how our wives would feel about that, though. I mean, if Jay got something out of it, maybe, you know, if she got sent on vacations and spa days with me, even if it was somewhere else, she'd probably be okay with a sugar mama for me. Not for her. I need to get up there. I need a refresh of my coffee. So we're gonna have to get the sweets in pretty quick. I'm starting to the energy level is starting to drain. It's starting to get critical. My caffeine levels are running low. Oh, check that out. That's going to be a pretty cool when we get up here a little more. They are cleaning the balconies at Cosmo. They're cleaning the glass. So we're going to... I often wondered, how did they do it? Let's see if I can stop right here and get a good view of it. We'll zoom in. It's a little bit blurry, but you see right above that little peak on that roof, that little white spot? That's a guy hanging from a rope with a bucket. Maybe when we get closer to the corner, we'll get a better view of it. Let's try and stop and see if we can get a better view from here. We're a little bit closer. A little closer, but not much better of a view. Yeah, we'll do some sweets in for our coffee break today. Well, our coffee walk. And then I'll wrap up when we get up to the Venetian. Sky looks really nice today. It's beautiful weather. Once I got my coat off, it's been so nice. I'm starting to sweat a little bit with my coat on. It's warming up. I'm not even sure what the temperature is. You can see Cosmo. Yeah, you get a great view of Cosmo from the overlook, Glitter and Coffee. But I'm running on borrowed time now, so it's 11:17. I gotta be home by like a little after 12 so I can get my son to the dentist. And I don't want to get in trouble for being late. You know, I'll get yelled at and all that good stuff. So he has a dentist appointment, and then I have something else to do. And then me and Jay are trying to decide if we're gonna come back out tonight or not. A big part of me says yes, I would love to come back out tonight, but the practical side of me also says no, because I have a lot of stuff to do, and I may not get it done, and all that stuff has to get done because I got that honey-do list I was telling y'all about yesterday. Secret Pizza, I love Secret Pizza.
Someone that Matt Sherman knows.
It is really good pizza. I think the place across at Planet Hollywood, Carnegie Pizza, that's in their food court, I think that really gives Secret Pizza. I think How you doing? That was really good pizza. That's the pizza spot right up on the Outlook. That was really good. That's the first time I ever had sourdough crust on a pizza, and I thought it was really good. working on this escalator. This escalator, they've been working on this one for a couple weeks now. The one that goes up right here on the other side of the street by from Cosmo, by the Miracle Mile Mall. Oh, that's a new happy hour. Breakfast with bottomless mimosas, patio happy hours all day, every day. $7 drinks at Rosa Mexicana. Bottomless mimosas, $21. It says daily 7:30 to 10:30 a.m. The sign over there, and they have breakfast from $10. So that's a good spot to maybe go check out. I have to have Jay come with me one day and do a breakfast date. We keep talking about it, but for some reason it just doesn't seem to happen. She's picked up some more classes. You know, she teaches online, so she's picked up some more classes and stuff. So, got to figure out her new schedule. Gabrielle, I've never had their breakfast. I had some kind of shrimp dish there one time, and it was delicious. I mean, I thought that they had great food. The salsa was really good. The chips were nice. You know, and it wasn't too expensive, which was nice too. We sat right out on the patio on the strip, and you know, we had a good time. I thought it was a great value. You know, much more expensive places out here to eat than that place. But P.F. Chang's also has a breakfast starting at $14.99. They have a late night happy hour. I think that might be new. 9 p.m. to close. $5.99 drinks. We'll have to check that out too. They got good scrambled eggs. Jay loves scrambled eggs. I'm an over easy guy. I like to dip some toast in it. So yeah, so right now, if you're just joining us, we're on our way back north on the strip. I need to go grab some coffee. I'm gonna go stop at Sweet Sin, one of my my go-to coffee places on the strip, at the Link Promenade. This is the part of the stream that gets a little bit rushed, where we're not taking as much time strolling, because I'm really bad with time management and probably spent too much time looking at other things and running late to get where I need to be. A burger with an egg on them, it's okay. But what I do like to make like a an over easy egg that is like medium, to where there's not a whole lot of yolk that's like running around in it. But and I like to then make a grilled cheese sandwich and have a grilled cheese and egg. That's one of my favorites. I made them the other day. Bacon, egg, and cheeseburger with ranch. Ooh, that sounds good. I do like ranch on my eggs too. Now, usually I just use like Tabasco sauce, or I have this like this ghost pepper sauce that I put on my eggs. Man, it is so good. I like my eggs to be spicy. That's probably why I wouldn't do well as a food critic, because I like my flavors like my flavors. So I think part of the hardest thing would probably be about a food critic is, you know, you're trying to eat for everyone's taste, not yours, right? And I'm eating for my taste. And I'm going to tell you the wings are good, or not that spicy, or they're spicy. I'll tell you food tastes good, but I definitely could not be a food critic. The Curry's House coming February 8th. Awesome. Where are you going to be staying? I've had a Chipotle ranch that was pretty good. I forget where it was. But you know what? Toca Madera at Aria, I think they have like a Chipotle ranch on their Caesar, or I'm sorry, a Chipotle Caesar on their Caesar salad, which is really good. It's like a spicy Caesar salad. That's like Jay's favorite food, so we're gonna have to end up going there one time. Again, that's a hard spot to get in sometimes because a lot of these businesses rent that space out. They rent the whole bar out and everything for private parties. And we'll go there trying to get in there for happy hour and get turned away because it's a private party. Yeah, we're heading up on towards the Flamingo. That is where Sweet Sin is, right outside the Flamingo side door that brings you into the Lake Promenade. Flamingo's a great spot. My mother-in-law just stayed there over the holidays. She came out the week before Christmas and she stayed at Flamingo. She really liked it. The only issue she said she had with the Flamingo was some of the prices at the coffee shop or the little, you know, grab and go places. That seems to be one of the biggest issues that Vegas has right now. So, coming up on the concert here. Oh, congratulations! Getting married September 2024. That's when me and Jay got married. That's our anniversary. So loud. Yeah, you know, and unfortunately, that's how a lot of places are now. You know, you just can't grab something to go. I remember in Cosmo. Now, I love Cosmo. Most of my favorite restaurants are in Cosmo, but that what is that, District Donut or whatever it is right there. I did a grab and go sandwich from there one time, and it was like 14 bucks. With a coffee, it was like almost 25 bucks. I was like, ah, man, like. I just really didn't feel, I was starving and I really didn't feel like walking anywhere else, so I paid it. But you know what, I'm not opposed to, when I go somewhere, I've done it in some of these places, I go up with a drink or a snack or something, grab and go, and it's an outrageous price. I'm like, yeah, never mind, that's way too much. And you know, I think we need to normalize doing that. You know what I mean? I think that's something that people need to normalize, that if you go up to check out at a place that doesn't have prices, and those prices are way higher than you expected, I think we should normalize saying no thanks and walking out. Because like somebody said earlier, you know, we can vote with our dollars, and if they're not making money off us, then they're going to realize, like, man, I had 10 people turn around and walk out tonight. You know, maybe I need to lower my prices. I don't know. Exactly, right? That's you are 100% correct. You're not feeling like prices are expensive everywhere. They are. You know, the last place that I traveled to was San Francisco. I use this example a lot, so if you're a long time follower here, you probably heard me tell you about the $28 burger that came with a bag of potato chips. And I'm like, $28 burger and a bag of potato chips in San Francisco, right? And then, you know, parking was $40-some a night to park. And it's like that no matter what city you go to. Everything is outrageously priced these days. And I don't know, I really don't know any other way than like not paying the prices. You know, you got to look for the values elsewhere. Yeah, I think San Francisco might have gotten a little bit cheaper because of how much they built up the area around San Francisco. I mean, I'm not really super familiar with that area, but I think that could be a possibility. I know, that's the problem we find ourselves in, right? Kerry's house. I agree with Hi, it's Annie, right? That, you know, you definitely should start eating more meals at home, but when you're on vacation you can't do that. But also when you're home, like sometimes it's cheaper for me and easier for me, or more convenient for me to just go grab a sandwich than it is for me to, you know, go buy the burger meat, the buns, the cheese and all that stuff for like 1 or 2 cheeseburgers. You know, it's probably a little bit cheaper or the same price for me to just go have somebody make it at a restaurant. Is that so, Joanna? I tell you what, breakfast sandwiches are like a staple of my life. I love egg and cheese. Sausage, egg, and cheese sandwiches. So yeah, I could definitely, if I had a spot like Vidara that had a little kitchenette, I probably would do the same thing. Eat the rest of my meals out and about, but definitely make my own eggs, because we've seen quite a few breakfast sandwiches today that were around $15 for an egg and cheese on a muffin. Same thing as an egg McMuffin without the ham. Just go across to McDonald's. I mean, they're not bad. Make it a burger now, Joe. Also, I take mine medium. Make sure they use real cheese. Do they even make real cheese anymore? I see. Like, I grew up. My stepfather, he was a butcher in the Italian market in Philadelphia. You know, if you guys have never been to Philadelphia or don't know what the Italian market is, if you ever seen the movie Rocky, where he's running and you see all the trash cans on fire and the guy throws them like the apple or whatever, like that's the Italian market. He was a butcher down there, and so I grew up eating all the best lunch meats, the Italian lunch meats, real Italian cheeses. So I'm very, very particular about my sandwiches. So yeah, there we go. That's Tom. Yeah, that you have to get them imported. You know, they don't make nothing. Like, you can't go to like Smith's or Acme and grab a real American cheese or real cheddar cheese anymore. It's all processed crap, right? Yeah, but the Kraft cheese, it melts so nice on a grilled cheese. I don't care if it's mostly oil, petroleum. It just melts really, really, really nice. The Kraft singles. And it only melts that nice because it's fake cheese. I get it. All right, let's get ourselves some sweets in. This is one of the best dessert and pastry shops on the Strip. Ooh, hey, what's going on? Can I get the dark chocolate, large, hot? Give me over here. And can I get an extra shot of espresso in it? Yeah. Great, thank you. Oh, everyone, George is back. What's up, George? Everyone say, welcome back to George, my bestest friend in the whole entire world, Mr. Jorge. These macarons are so good. Where are they? The chocolate ones. I don't even see the chocolate ones out here today, but the chocolate ones are delicious. That's a good special. That may be, if we do come back up the strip tonight, that may be our snack tonight. Maybe I get one and Jay gets one. Well, Jay probably won't get one. She doesn't eat like that. Don't be bashful, George. Say hello. Hello. Yeah, I'll take one of these, please. Nutella croissants, they are awesome. Warm them up and they are so good. I ain't bringing you shit, George. All right. Great, man. Thank you. Have a great day. Good seeing you again. Take it easy. Awesome place right there. The people are so nice. The coffee is so good, and the desserts are fantastic. So this is the Link Promenade, and that is the Flamingo entrance right there from the Link Promenade. You see the high roller in the background. It is right across from the Flamingo entrance. It's called Sweet Sin. So much better than the TDR food, George. Cheers, everybody. Hope you're enjoying your morning coffee. It is called Sweet Sin. If you scroll up a little bit, Murakami just put the name in the chat. Tell them I said hello, what's going on? Juan and Haz are great guys. George, not so great. He's kind of a creep, but I love him. George can't get enough of me. George loves me, right? He watches my live streams. He's always trying to sit with me at lunch. He's a good dude. I like him, but he's kind of annoying, kind of creepy. But nah, he's a great dude. I like messing with him like that, especially when I know there's other guys from work watching. No, I usually do. Bourbon pecan coffee. I'd give that a try. As long as there's not real bourbon in it, I can't have real bourbon. I have an allergy to alcohol. So, seeing some of the convention people, I wonder if these people snuck out and they were like, man, this goddamn presentation is horrible. I'm out of here. No alcohol. Okay, cool. You got to be careful sometimes with that stuff. Harrah's. Not a huge fan of Harrah's, but I do love the piano bar inside Harris here. The piano bar is super fun. Fun night to hang in there. Carnival Court, awesome for the live music, the 80s hair bands and things like that, if you like that kind of music. Did I go to the convention? No, I don't have a pass for the convention, so.
Slow music, Dad. Where you from?
I'm from Vegas, man. I'm cool. Thank you. I thought he was hanging out with some free drinks. Sometimes I like to get them to see what they do, but cool. He's trying to sell me a Spotify thing. That's how you kind of handle those people. Just kind of say, no, thank you. We're good. Yeah, I like the guy and the girl that go back and forth. And then I think they bring out another girl, like their sisters or something. They're pretty cool. I'll tell you, Sahara has a really good piano bar too. But it's not a piano bar every night, I don't think. We've gone there, had some fun up the Sahara. Oh, looks like they got a couple more of those bridges put in on the Hard Rock there. Nice. It's moving along pretty quick. I keep debating to myself when they start hiring if I wanted to send my resume over there or not. But the problem with that is, you know, you really can't hang out in the places you work. So I wouldn't really be able to hang out there. And I really think that would be a spot that I would probably frequent a lot. Yeah, they're moving pretty quick with that, Christopher. Definitely moving at a much better pace than the Flamingo did with the Go Pool last year. The 24-hour McDonald's here too. We were talking about breakfast sandwiches and things like that. If you order on the app, I think it's the same price as the app. There's no upcharge for being on the strip. Coffee is still the coffee is still pretty cheap there. I think it's like $2.69 for a large coffee at McDonald's.
Get more chances to win.
Yeah, that is going to dominate the strip skyline. And you know what? I think it's going to be a good thing. I really think it's going to be a good thing, having that standing out, you know? Well, the hot dogs, it went up a little bit. It's $3.99 for a foot-long hot dog now. I don't know. I mean, I had one not too long ago. We stopped in there, me and Jay, on a live stream, and I grabbed a hot dog. I was a little bit hungry. But that's back when they were $3.49. And, I mean, for $4, it's not the worst thing in the world. But the way they get you is, you know, if you want to put like chili or cheese or any of that stuff on there, that's the extra. You know what I mean? So they're going to make it up on that. So it's on your back, bud. I thought we were going to get ourselves a CS badge there. If that would have blown off, I would have snatched it up and tried to snuck in. They have some pretty good deals at Circus on the hot dogs. I forget how much they were, but I think they're like $1.50 or something like that. Wait, these people have interesting protest signs. I gotta go see what they say. It says, "Stop China from stealing your data. The CCP is watching you and listening to you in your home. Interesting. I mean, I think American companies sell plenty of our data to Chinese companies every single day. Well, Murakami said we should try to get a media pass for next year. 338, only 2 more for our goal. Thank you everyone who has subscribed this morning. I'm sure a few of you in here in that 113, you're enjoying this. Hit the subscription button there. Turn on your notifications. We go live Tuesdays and Wednesdays are usually 100%. Tuesdays and Wednesday mornings, and several times during the week. Sometimes right after work, like around 3-4 o'clock Vegas time, I go live a lot, and then a couple times during the evening, we like to come up here and go live. I'm working on a schedule to be a little bit more consistent for you guys. I know that's pretty important to do. So we are definitely working on that. And, so subscribe to our channel. Go check out our videos. I'm working on some videos that are going to be pretty interesting. Moo Moo, what's up, bro? How you doing? This year's CS is all about AI. AI is cool. I mean, it's useful. It does help you out when you're trying to analyze stuff like that. I mean, if you've ever tried to have like AI like write you something, a lot of times I'm like, dude, like what the heck? And I'm pretty decent at prompting the AI, but definitely will. I definitely will. Like sometimes I'll try to have AI help me out and write like a description or something, or clean it up, and it totally changes it into something totally different than what I'm asking for. And I'm like, because I don't have the best punctuation and spelling. I mean, if you guys hear me, you guys hear me talk, I don't even pronunciate words right? So, imagine what my spelling and stuff. I kind of maybe sound like, oh, this dude's like an idiot, but no, I'm actually really smart. My mind moves too fast sometimes, and I just keep writing. We haven't been on that much, Roro. But AI, I think, is a useful tool. All right, so here we have the second best burger in Vegas. I think I said it was $13 earlier. It's $15. I was wrong. So $15 for a burger and fries. They got happy hour, 2 to 6. So that's a lunch special, I think, right? So that's probably from like 11 to 1, something like that. So come in, have your lunch. Get your, if you're here for a convention, there we go. 20% off if you present your badge. Oh, you haven't been in on school for a while, okay. Taking a little break, I guess. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna flip this around real quick because I'm gonna sign off. We're almost back to where we started this morning. So I have to go get my son to the dentist. Had a great walk today. We started here at the Venetian, walked all the way down to Mandalay Bay, and then all the way back up here. So I think that was a pretty good day. 3 hours, 15 minutes or so it took us. So you guys have a great day. I appreciate all of you. Hopefully I got those 2 more subscribers so I can get that 940. That would be great. And if you guys keep your notifications turned on, because we'll probably be on maybe, possibly later tonight. So you guys have a great day, and I will see you guys later.